everyone, welcome back to my channel. Barusan itu bukan lagu dari Spotify Top 40, but lagu buatan AI khusus buat kalian. It's catchy, right? Now, let's talk about something even more interesting. Yup, stories. Have you ever been so lost in a book, or a movie, or a game that you forget where you are? Why are some stories so powerful that they keep you up all night? So, today we are going to learn about narrative text and discuss its definitions, purpose, structures, and language features. So, prepare your notes or screenshot aja nanti slide-nya. Without any further ado, let's get started. Yeah, first thing first, what is narrative? Narrative text is a type of written or spoken form that tells a story by presenting a chronological sequence of events. These stories can be completely imaginative or fictional, like Alice in Wonderland, or it can be factual and non-fictional. So, the point is, if it tells a story, it is a narrative. So, let's move into the purpose of narrative text. Why do we tell stories? Why do we tell stories? The primary social functions of narrative text is to entertain the reader. We love a good tale, but narratives often have a deeper purpose too. They frequently convey a moral lesson or cultural value. Think of Malin Kundang, a short stories that teach powerful life lessons. So, in a short story Malin Kundang, there are moral lesson or cultural value. So, narrative text covers a huge range of stories, which we categorize into different genres. You have probably heard of all of this. Of course, the first one is fables, stories that features animals and teach lessons. And then the fairy tales, magical stories often featuring royalty like Cinderella, Snow White, and etc. And then the legends is traditional stories about the past that are often believed to be true, such as the story of Lake Toba. And then there are folktales. Folktales were historically transmitted by word of mouth, meaning they have been told and retold for many years, with their origins often unknown places. And then the myth. Myth is a stories about gods or supernatural beings, like the story of Zeus or Dewi Sri. And then there are romance genre like Romeo and Juliet. So, next is the generic structures of narrative text. A strong narrative follows a specific structures, often called the generic structures, which help the story flow logically. These structures has three main stages, or you can take a look at the diagram mountain. The first part is orientation. Orientation is the opening stage. It sets the scenes by introducing the participant, or who, and then the time or when, and the place or where. And then the second part is complications or conflict. This is the main body of the story where the conflict or problem begins and develops. It includes the rising actions where the conflict gets worse, leading to the climax. The climax is the turning point or the highest tensions in the story. And then the last part, there are resolutions. This is the aftermath of the conflict. It begins with the following actions where the tension decreases and leads to the final solution or ending. The conflict is resolved for better or worse, and the story concludes. Let's move at the language features of narrative text. Narrative have specific language features that bring the story to life. The first one, narrative use simple past tense. Of course, narrative use simple past tense or action are described as having happened in the past. For example, walk, was. For example, they walk, or she was happy, was. And then narrative use specific participant. Of course, the characters are clearly named or divined. Think the wolf or Cinderella. And then narrative use time connectives and conjunctions. This word sequence the events. For example, then, suddenly, after that, finally, and etc. And then next, narrative use action verb. Action verb is a verb that shows physical or mental actions like ran, shouted, or thought. And narrative use direct speech or the words spoken by a characters enclosed in quotations marks. For instance, I will help you, she said. And then narrative use adjectives. Adjectives is a descriptive words that create vivid mental image of the settings and characters. For example, a dark forest, or a beautiful princess, Got it? So, let's quickly apply this to an example. The Legend of Salatiga. Please notice the past tense use, also see the time connective from the stories, the legends. Now, which part show orientations, complications, and resolutions? Which part orientations? So, orientations is in the first paragraph and it's opened with many years ago and introduce the main participants Sunan Kalijaga. In the first paragraph is orientations and which part complications or conflict. So, complication, the conflict begins when Sunan asks for a job without telling his real name and chief wife secretly brings her jewelry, which then gets stolen by a robber. Yep. This part is complications. And then resolution. Which part is resolutions? The conflict is resolved when Sunan names the place Salatiga in the last paragraph, meaning three wrong people, the chief, his wife, and the robber. This is the resolutions. So, Alright, before we end the video, I have a quick challenge for you guys. So, answer these questions in the comment sections. Okay? So, I will wait a minute. Great work, everyone! Now you know the definition, the purpose, structures, and CK's language features of narrative text, right? So storytelling is everywhere, and understanding it makes you a better reader and writer. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos, and let me know in the comment what your favorite narrative genre is. See you in the next lesson, and bye bye!